This is Mike Anuzzi at musicaccelerator.com, and today I'd like to welcome a friend of mine. We met at the West Coast Songwriters Conference in the San Francisco Bay Area, and later had a chance to write a couple songs together yet to be released, share some music experience. She is a talented songwriter who has written with artists around the world and successfully established herself in Nashville, Tennessee, writing Blake Shelton's #1 hit, She Wouldn't Be Gone. Her word choices and rhythms in writing are some of the most creative I have heard. She is also an author who recently released her book, I Don't See Heaven. It's a precious story of a little girl who learned some pretty big life lessons. She has worked as an artist manager and developed the careers of several great young artists. So please welcome Jennifer Adan. Jen, how's it going?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Oh, it's so good hearing your voice. It's been way too long.
I know, way too long.
Well, let's hop right into this. Can you tell us about how you got started and your development in the music industry as a songwriter?
Yeah, I mean, basically I've been going back and forth from the Bay Area to Los Angeles, writing songs when I was, in high school and college, and I had my heart set on moving to Los Angeles after, I graduated college and whatnot, and it just wasn't in the cards. I kept going to Nashville as well, and everything was pointing me to Nashville. I kept winning song contests that would bring me to Nashville, and basically one of the contests I won was with Jeffrey Steele. He's a big, huge hit songwriter out in Nashville, and he wrote Rascal Flatts hits from What Hurts the Most, My Wish, and a bunch of others. And so I won a contest with him and got to come out to Nashville, and he pretty much said, what are you doing in San Francisco? You need to be in Nashville. And that was all I needed to hear, so I dropped out of San Francisco State and moved to Nashville about 6 months later, and just kind of hopped right into the business. I, didn't really know anybody when I moved here, so I went to every music venue I could and met everybody that I could. And one of the guys I met, his name was Cory Batten, and he and I got together to write, and happened to be She Wouldn't Be Gone, and that was the first song that we wrote together.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and
kind of had to dive headfirst into a world you were totally unfamiliar with and go with it.
Yeah, I mean, because Nashville is a lot different than LA. So I knew LA more than Nashville for sure. And I had only known Nashville from the handful of times I'd been here visiting, maybe for like a week here or there. And, it wasn't my first choice, so I wasn't as open to it as LA. But, once I found out I was getting the Blake Shelton cut, I kind of had to learn to swim with the sharks pretty fast. So, and I guess that's the best way to learn. I'm not sure. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds like, you had that great experience early on. I know you've been writing songs since you were a little child, and you continue to develop that aspect of your creative lifestyle. You entered song contests, you won, you moved out to Nashville, met everybody you could. You went out to shows. It sounds like your life is extremely busy. I know you're taking your time out today as you're sitting in traffic to talk to me. So Jen, what is your day-to-day life actually like?
Oh, it varies. Like today I was in the studio for a lot of the day recording some new stuff that I'm really super excited about. And tomorrow, and actually tonight, I'm going to be writing. So my schedule is pretty all over the place. A typical day would, my ideal day would be wake up and work out and eat and not start a session until maybe after lunch, because I do my best thinking and my best writing later on once I'm awake. I'm not really a morning person. But a lot of people in town like to start at 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, which is not my favorite. But it varies. It's just kind of a day-to-day thing, and it's always exciting, and there's always something new going on. And, since I do books as well and I manage as well, I just kind of am very good at juggling my schedule to try to make sure everything is balanced and everything gets arranged properly.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you are writing, you said you like to start after lunch or something like that. Do you have a set process, or what kind of steps do you go through when you are writing a new song?
Basically, I tell people I'm a chameleon writer. So I basically just write however the other person likes to write. I don't really have a set way that I write. It's just kind of whatever mood I'm in or the other person's in, I kind of balance off of that. But I know some people like to do the melody first or the lyrics first or, start with an idea. And I just kind of, go with however the room and the energy feels. It's not really like one way or the other. It's just kind of, however you feel in the moment is to be.
Absolutely. And just going along with that statement that you made, you're a chameleon writer. I know a few years ago, you showed me a tune that you were working on, and it was in Spanish, and that's not your native language, correct?
No, it's not. And it's, I speak Spanish, kind of. Like, my mom speaks fluent Spanish, and we grew up speaking Spanish, but it's definitely not one that I'm like, all about being proud of speaking, or being not proud of speaking, but being like eloquent in speaking. It's just, but it's fun to, kind of step outside of your comfort zone and explore different boxes and explore different avenues of doing things. So.
Yeah, it sounds like that's kind of your process. You totally stepped out of your comfort zone, moving to a new town, kind of earning your rank, and like you said, you're working with a ton of different songwriters. You're writing any way, shape, or form that you can just to keep that creativity process going along. I want to ask you what kind of projects are you working on right now that you're very excited about? I know, just kind of to direct this question more, I know you've worked with a lot of artists, managing them. I have heard some of the new stuff you've posted on your Instagram, some sound clips of songs you've done. Could you talk about those things? They sound great.
Yeah, I mean, my September of last year, I actually signed my first writer to my publishing company, which is very exciting and a lot of work. But his name is Steve Lester, and basically, I write a lot with him, and we have been in the studio recording just a bunch of new songs and getting some new tunes. And I am always about finding a really new and unique sound, and that's basically what we're doing. And I'm just really excited about writing with him and all the stuff that's coming out of that.
That is super cool.
So a lot of the tunes that are probably on there are probably from him. So I can't really remember what all I posted.
Awesome. Well, I definitely will include a link to all your web stuff so people could check out the projects that you're working on. Jen, I have one more question for you. Do you have any advice that you can offer or that someone might have offered you about building a career in the music industry?
Yeah, this is a loaded question. I feel like if you want to do it, then you need to do it. There's no one way to do anything, and whatever method works for you is probably what's going to work. You just have to listen to your gut, listen to the direction that probably your career is going, and see what, pretty much just see where that takes you, because you can't always depend on other people's paths to be your path. So that was basically what I wish somebody told me, because I always was thinking I'm going to get a publishing deal and I'm going to, do it the way everybody else is doing it, but that wasn't the way I did it at all. So it was my own way in my own, whatever.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That sounds like such great advice. You kind of, it's all around. You kind of go in blind and see if that's the way that it works. It sounds like you've really worked around to create something new every time, always creating some new aspect of your skill that you've developed over the years, just to refine it and make it the best that you possibly can. Jen, it's been such an honor talking to you again. It's been, like I said earlier, way too long. Next time you come to the Bay Area, I want to hang out. Next time I'm in Nashville, I want to hang out. We'll catch up a lot more then. So Jen, I want to thank you so much for taking your time today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much for calling me and talking with me and all that.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Again, this is Mike Anuzzi at musicaccelerator.com, and we will catch up again soon.